Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Welcome to another episode of Modern Chiropractic Mastery. This is your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, and today I'm bringing you a solo episode, kind of piggybacking off of last week's episode where we did a positive focus on 2023. We're going to shift gears here a little bit and start talking about 2024. I know it's hard to believe that it's going to be 2024. Where's the time going, right? But we can't ignore that the fact that it is coming, and we got a plan for it. I don't want you to, um, get too much into the weeds for it, but I think this is a great time of year to really get set up for 2024. It's in a lot of ways it shouldn't change. I kind of look at it as it's a transition into a new. It's the second half or something, right? You get a little bit of a break here the next couple weeks, and then we got to get back into it and really hit it hard. I don't want you um, thinking that it's like a line of demarcation between 2023 and 2024 to where you haven't done, shit for the last 6 weeks because like, "Oh, I'll just wait till 2024." Ed Milet had a funny saying on his episode a few weeks ago, and people have turned a holiday into a holla month, and it's it's pretty true. So take some time off. Monday seems to be a day that we're gonna have off for Christmas and for New Year's this year. Enjoy that. If you got some other days planned, great. That's amazing. But let's finish strong. But let's also plan for a great 2024, and hopefully you were doing a lot of great things to round out this year. And so in our coaching group, we do a lot of planning for the year. Each week, we've been really diving into that. I do it for myself, and we're not going to be able to dive into all the details of these particular things you should be planning, but I'm going to give you kind of an idea of what you should be doing for 2024. Okay. And if you want to dive deep in these things, you could obviously reach out to us, and we offer coaching and marketing and things of that nature to help get you jump started for a great 2024. And so first thing we do is a positive focus. We did that last week on the podcast. So if you didn't listen to that one, do that. I'd like to really set a good tone for it. Okay. The next thing you need to be doing is scheduling a team meeting. No matter if it's just you, maybe it's you and your spouse, or it's a well developed team. Is you need to be having a yearly team meeting, and in that meeting, I really like the book Traction. So I'm kind of give you just some resources for it. That's a great book. That's based on the EOS model or the Entrepreneur Operating System, which I really like. I'm excited in 2024, we have Jay Greenstein coming to do a lot of that type of stuff for our first weekend of the new West Cohort Mastermind. And you can definitely check that out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com if you're interested. The the EOS is just really good information, and Jay is certified in that, and really has done a great job of applying that to the chiropractic profession. And so they talk about, setting your quarterly rocks and, having an issues list, an indicator scorecard, really getting clear on that. And again, the book Traction is a good resource if you really want to dive into a great quarterly team meeting or yearly team meeting in this regard, but you should be doing these quarterly. They also on if you look up EOS's website, they have a lot of great free downloads on there you can access, which I really like. But it's a great fundamental structure to have a yearly team meeting, and that's what we use in our practice and some of the stuff that we coach our clients on. So make sure you plan a yearly team meeting, whether it's at the end of December or the very early part of January. If you haven't scheduled it yet, it might be hard to do it for this month in December. So maybe do it for January and get going on that. Okay. Some of the planning you need to be doing is definitely a full marketing plan. We dive into a yearly plan where we kind of do a brain dump on that, and then we tease it out for a Q1. If you say you're going to revamp your website entirely, you may not get that to Q1, but you're just going to put it on there. You're going to start really on all the different categories of marketing, write out the things you want to probably accomplish in 2024, And then when you go to Q1, January, February, March, say, okay, yeah, we're going to start emailing our patients weekly in January. Great. We put that on for January. And you want to get really clear on with your marketing as far as what the big projects you want to do in marketing. Again, some of those one offs, developing a YouTube channel, start shooting videos. And then some of them are going to be more continuous, like write one blog per month, post on Instagram 3 times a week, get more Google reviews, right? There's a lot of things that go with marketing. Um, Again, another resource, if you want to pick up my book, Doing It Right, Modern Chiropractic Marketing, you can get that on Amazon or from our website. The book is a book and a workbook, and you can fill out the marketing planner on there, and it breaks that down how to do that. Let's take a break from today's episode and announce our first sponsor. This is going to be Propel Marketing and Design. I've known Darcy Sullivan for years. We've worked hand in hand on my websites. I don't trust anybody else to do the search engine optimization. She does a great job. There's so much to it. A lot of the lingo and the words are beyond my comprehension, but it's just amazing work that she does. And if you're really going to get results with Google, you have to make sure your website is SEO optimized. And I really don't want you doing it yourself as a chiropractor. So you just have to have this type of stuff done. And if you're looking to get more organic online traffic that pulls in new patients, Propel Marketing and Design is currently offering chiropractors who listen to this podcast a free SEO website review. The free review will help you uncover methods that will improve your website and boost your search engine visibility. Head over to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor and schedule your free SEO website review. You won't regret it. She gets great results. Your website needs this. Your search results need this. Head on over there to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor to get your free SEO website review. Let's take a short break for one of our great sponsors, TrackStat. It is a new type of software plugin for your EHR that combines patient communication, marketing, automation, and statistics with patient and employee tracking. Built by chiropractors for chiropractors, it shows your team what to focus on each day. See patient visit habits, missing information, unpaid bills, insurance collection visit average, and more. Great visibility of data so you can focus on filling your office with your best patients. When you can see what your staff and patients are doing or not doing and take action accordingly, your profits naturally grow. Take TrackStat for a test drive in your office with our free trial. Not a techie, no problem, we can help. To get started on your free trial, visit trackstat.org and watch the demo. That is trackstat.org.
Join industry leaders for an exciting event unlike any other at Parker Seminars Las Vegas 2024. Attendees will hear from renowned speakers including ultra-distance cycler David Goggins, leadership expert Simon Sinek, and Big Bang Theory actress and neuroscientist Mayim Bialik, among others. We'll have 12 unique tracks to choose from covering topics from beyond biohacking and chiropractic principles to clinical science and more. Go to parkerseminars.com and register today.
So you want to take the time in December to plan out your marketing for 2024. You'd be surprised with how few people are doing that, and they need to be doing it. Some of you all are like so busy with patients, you're like, shit, the last thing I need is more marketing, which is wrong thinking, but at least you're busy and hopefully profitable. But there's a lot of you out there that are, complaining about your practice not growing and not being what it wanted, and you're just not doing anything. You're not doing any marketing. It's kind of shocking sometimes. And I know there's sometimes some stigmas around marketing, or you feel like your clinical skill set should not warrant half the marketing, or you still think chiropractic marketing is from like what the cheesy shit they used to do in the 1980s. But it's not like that. So you got to be doing a marketing plan for 2024. Okay. Again, my book is a good resource for that. Next is you want to do a financial plan for 2024, and you want to do that in your personal life and sit down with your significant other. What kind of things are you going to have for one-off expenses? Are you going to be remodeling the house? Are you taking a unique vacation, or do you have something? Like I remember in 2022, we have a high deductible insurance plan, and our second child was being born in February, and of course, all those doctor's visits that my wife had for the first 7 months of the pregnancy went towards the 2021 deductible and it renewed. And so I knew that baby was going to cost us $7,500. That was our deductible. And so that's like a one off expense that we prepared for, right? So get your personal life finances squared away, and then definitely your practice finances. And in your practice finances, another great resource is Christine Odell's work. She's got a book. You can just Amazon that, Christine Odell. I think it's Rocking Your Business Finances. I send it to all our new clients. You got other great resources out there like Dr. Holly Tucker or Greg Crabtree as well. So we're doing for our mastermind group for both of them in 2024. This is probably worth the price of admission to the mastermind alone, but we are supplementing the in-person weekend meetings with 3 2-hour Zoom calls that are like real detailed trainings of finances. So we're kind of layering on a theme of business finances to our already scheduled program of in-person stuff. And Greg Crabtree is going to be doing one of those. We've got another person doing it, and we're kind of rounding out the third. But ultimately, you want to get super clear on your practice finances, and that's where you're going to say, okay, is my emergency fund squared away? How is our cash flow? If you know the Greg Crabtree stuff, I had an episode with him. You can look back earlier in the year and he talked about the 2.0 number, basically your labor costs in check. How's your profitability each month and for the year? Do you have a sinking fund set away for big expenses coming up, right? So getting clear on your personal and professional finances is a great time for you to do that now. Okay. In your personal life, we were lucky enough in July in our Naples mastermind to have Kurt and Krista Kippenberger. Kurt's one of our members in the mastermind. He's one of our associate coaches, and they do something called vision casting. And so they did that with our group, and that was really good. They're going to be doing that for our West cohort in San Diego at the end of next year. So um, our members will be able to really dive in great for 2025 moving forward. And my wife and I just did this. We went up to New York City for the holidays, but we took out specific times to really plan our future, not just in 2024, but that was a big part of it because it's more pressing, but just like long term, like what are some of our things that we want to do as a family, and what are some of our goals, and what are some of our value systems, and schooling for the kids. What do we want to do? Like we got really clear on that. And so I would recommend picking up that. You could reach out to me if you're interested. I'm not sure where you can get Krista's book, but she wrote a little bit of a nice book on this, and you can get that as a resource. But yeah, start planning out like what does your family's personal life look like in 2024? Okay. Next is, what do you is like, is there gonna be big projects for you in your business? Maybe it's your personal life too, but we kinda talked about that. But, are you gonna open up your own practice in 2024? What does that look like, right? Are you gonna renovate your office in 2024? Are you gonna hire that first associate? There's a lot of big things that happen as you grow as a professional, and you got to get prepared for that. So start kind of reverse engineering some of the planning for some of the big things you need to do. I remember in 2022 we renovated the office, and I remember sitting down in December 2021. I started, planning it out as like part of it was okay. In January, we're going to start the refinancing of my real estate mortgage to take out the money. I got a lower interest rate back then in January 2022. Luckily, I did it. I actually went into a lower interest rate, probably not going to happen nowadays. But I was able to lower the interest rate, take a little bit of money out to renovate, and my payment was essentially the same each month. So it felt like free money almost. And you want to start planning it now. And for us, it was like, okay, got to do the financial part of it, get that squared away, and then planning out the contractors and what we're going to do. And we worked with Crossfields, and there was a lot of moving parts to it. So I planned that in December of 2021 because I wanted to do that in the summer of 2022 because the summer for us down here is slower. I wouldn't want to do a remodel in the winter, although some of it got pushed to the winter because of delay in supply chain and all that stuff, right? So definitely check out some of the big things you may be doing. Next is, what are you going to do to develop as a person more next year? Um, I would say over the last 5 years, this has been something I've been really in touch with for myself. And I've mentioned that sometimes on the podcast. Like this past year, I was really doubling down on improving as a leader. I think in many ways I do well as a leader, and there's some blind spots and some things that weren't blind spots that I knew I had to improve on. That's why I brought on Dr. Manuel Astruck for the year to really help me with that side of leadership, which was great. The year before, I jumped up a level of program in strategic coach because I wanted to do that. I know the year before, I also hired a public speaking coach as well, and so I'm always looking at how can I develop as a person? Like for you, it could be coaching, right? It could be having someone in your corner to help you out. It could be going to our mastermind. That could be the next step for you. For me, I continue to look, and some of the people I had in my past that have really helped, been great. Christine Odell has been amazing. I've had chiropractic coaches before that. I've done a lot of different type of coaching, and next year will be no different. And I'm kind of on the decision making of a couple different routes that I'll keep you informed with as I go along. But I'm always looking to improve myself as a person because that carries over to my obviously my personal life, but also the business. And so, what are you going to do to take that next step and improve yourself? And so, definitely consider that. Okay. And lastly, you know, um, it's been a tough week for me. It's been a very, very hard week. As I record this, about 5 days ago, one of my best friends, he was best man in a wedding, and he unfortunately passed away. And the story is very, very sad. And it just was, passed away in his sleep. And I won't go into the details, but recently married, very, very, very recently had his first child. Um, and I just don't know how much layers of protection there were there for his family financially with that, and so we're kind of taking that head on a little bit. But I've had this conversation with you before on this podcast if you've been a listener, and um, I had my financial advisor planner, Michael Jasonda, on, and you could access that one. But I think it was like a couple years ago, I listened to a podcast and they talked about building a financial fortress around your family. And I would say over the last 4 or 5 years, so I'm 43, rolling up on 44 actually in a couple weeks. Um, After I had my first son, I've kind of had been in touch with my own mortality over the last 5 years. I think maybe just getting close to 40 or hitting that, you start to realize, like, okay, it's a line of demarcation here, right? And so after I had my first son, we sat down and we have a will and trust. I mean, it's really teased out well. If unfortunate circumstances happen, we really have it all figured out, even to the point where if my wife and I were to perish at the same time, who's getting the kids and what that looks like, it's the will and trust really solves a lot of family concerns during a time of grieving. And I've got plenty of life insurance. I've got a key person policy in my business. There's just a lot of layers of protection. There's a plan in place what happens to the practice, to the office real estate. And so I just want to, when I had sat down to plan out this episode a few weeks ago, this one wasn't on the list, but obviously, given the circumstances, it made me think about it a little more. And I just want you to, if you have any holes in your fortress, all right, to protect your family, make this the year. I mean, start it now, but make this the year you really get that figured out. I mean, everybody's different as far as what it would cost for, like, say, just the key person policy, but I can tell you, like, $1,000,000 would fund into my business if I passed away, and it's like $600 for the year, right? Like, and I'm healthy, but you may be healthy, you may be younger, maybe older or not, whatever it costs, like, it's just a peace of mind. And so I want you to make 2024 the year that you really plug any of those holes that might be there, to protect your family. Okay, and so um, do that for your family, do that for your loved ones. It just makes things a lot easier, because it's impossible no matter what if something were to happen. But at least your family would have the space to grieve, without worrying about the financial aspects and ramifications of it. Okay. And so I'm gonna leave you with that. And I know you're gonna have a great 2024. I know there's gonna be challenges. There's no doubt about it. But you're gonna overcome those. And we will be here for you in any capacity needed, whether it's just reaching out to me, whether you just listen to this podcast, or you decide to join our coaching program or our mastermind. We'd love to help you out in any way possible to make 2024 your best year yet. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time-free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence-informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things. And we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.